hurts more? Losing someone or realizing that you still love each other but you no longer belong to the same world? 8 years after a promise made by the side of the road, a reunion will put to the test everything they believed about love. The sun that afternoon was the same as always, hot, strong, casting golden light over the low rooftops and the quiet pastures. Nothing there was in a hurry, except for Timoteo's heart. He was leaning against the wooden fence near the small bus station, which was really just a tiled shelter and a worn-out bench, pretending to watch the road. But inside, he was counting every second. It had been 8 years. 8 years since Letitia had left. Back then, they were just two teenagers, full of plans and certainties. She wanted to study, see the world, live something bigger than that farm, where everyone knew everyone else's business. He wanted to stay, not because he didn't have dreams, but because his dreams had roots there. On the day she left, Timoteo didn't cry in front of her. He just said, "Go ahead, I'll wait." She smiled then, like someone making a beautiful promise, not knowing if she could keep it. "Don't wait for me, Timoteo. Live your life." But he never could. And now she was coming back. When Letitia got off the bus, it took him a moment to recognize her. Not because she had changed so much physically, but because there was something different about her manner. Before, she seemed to belong to that place, as if she were part of the landscape. Now, he seemed like someone who was just passing through. Her hair was shorter, her gaze more determined, her clothes more modern. She held the cell phone in her hand as if it were an extension of her body. But the smile? The smile remained the same. When her eyes met his, for a second, time truly stood still. "Timothy!" She said his name. He tried to respond, but his voice failed before it came out, so he just smiled. In the first few days, everything seemed easy. She visited her family, hugged neighbors, walked along the dirt roads, remembering childhood stories. And Timothy was always nearby. They talked like old friends, laughed about old memories, commented on people from town, but there was something strange between them. Timothy still hadn't figured out exactly what it was. One afternoon, he took her to the river, where they used to spend hours when they were kids. After a few minutes of silence, she said, "Funny, everything here seems just the same." "It is," he said excitedly. "But that's the thing, Timothy. It feels like time stopped here. Out there, everything is fast. It changes all the time. We learn not to get too attached. We learn to move on. Here, no. Things stay exactly the same." "And is that a bad thing?" he asked. Letitia just shrugged and said, "I don't know, but it's really different." In the following days, Timothy started to notice little things. Letitia got annoyed with the slow internet, thought the silence at night was strange, and said she felt stuck when she wasn't busy. She talked a lot about the big city, about opportunities, about new dreams, and every time she spoke, he felt a little more distant, until one night, sitting on the park bench, he finally asked, "Letitia, do you still love me?" She didn't answer right away, and then he went on, "I know you told me to move on, but I never managed to love anyone the way I loved you. And I still love you. Are you coming back here?" Then she looked at him tenderly and said, "Timoteo, I love you in a way that I never stopped loving you, but it's not the same love anymore. Out there, I changed, Timoteo. I learned to want different things, to dream differently. I don't know how to live the way I used to live here anymore." He then just stared at the ground. He wasn't angry or surprised, just sad. "I waited for you," he said in a low voice. She then held his hand and said, "I know, and that's the most beautiful thing anyone has ever done for me, but I don't know if I could come back to live here." On the morning of her last day in town, they walked together down the dirt road, unhurried. She then said that she missed him, but that this was no longer her world. It was no longer her place. He just stayed silent. Later, at the bus station, just about to get on the bus and head back to the city, Letitia was surprised. Timoteo came to see her, but he didn't just come to say goodbye. He brought a suitcase and then said to her, "I don't want to lose you again, Letitia. So if your place is there, I want to try to be a part of it." Letitia was overjoyed. She could hardly believe what she was seeing, and so they set off toward the big city. In the first few days, everything felt like a big adventure. The tall buildings left Timoteo amazed. The constant noise seemed like something from another world. The crowded streets, cars, lights, honking, everything seemed way too fast. He would hold her hand every time they crossed the avenues. "It feels like nobody breathes here," he said once, watching the hustle and bustle. She laughed. At first, he tried to adapt, but little by little, things started to weigh on him. He missed the quiet of the countryside, the starry sky, the way people knew each other by name. He missed it all. There, in the big city, everything was anonymous, rushed and distant. Even Letitia seemed different in that environment. She was always busy, full of commitments, while Timoteo felt more and more out of place. 6 months later, on just another night, he stood looking out the apartment window. The city outside was shining, but it wasn't the shine of stars. It was the glow of houses, cars, and streetlights. That wasn't Timoteo's world, but he understood it was Letitia's. And so, that night, during dinner, they had a long and honest conversation. First, he said, "I love you." She smiled, not understanding. "I love you too, Timoteo." He then took a deep breath. "But I don't belong in this place, Letitia." Her smile appeared slowly. "Timoteo." "I tried, Letitia. I really tried. For you, for us." And then he looked deep into her eyes and continued, "But here, I feel like a plant that's been uprooted. I'm still alive, but I can't grow." Tears started streaming down his face. "And that's not your fault," he went on. "And it's not mine either. We just became people who need different worlds." And then, for the first time, they accepted the truth that had existed between them for a long time. The following week, the time to say goodbye arrived. At the bus station, they didn't say much, nor did they need to. Letitia just hugged Timoteo tightly and said, "Thank you for being my safe place." He then smiled and replied, "And you, Letitia, thank you so much for teaching me that the world is bigger than I ever imagined." Already on the bus, on his way home, Timoteo smiled. And it was the smile of someone who had finally learned to let go, without ever stopping loving.
E chegamos ao fim de mais uma história. E agora é com você. Você já precisou escolher entre o amor da sua vida e a vida que você sonhava? Deixe a sua resposta aqui embaixo nos comentários. E não se esqueça de deixar aquele like e, é claro, se inscrever no canal para não perder nenhuma história. Um beijo e até a próxima!